What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Curse News on the Kerbinator podcast. How you guys doing? So today I'm going to talk about how you can become a millionaire. How I was able to do what I do is, I come from a poor background. I have no money. I had no money. I worked for different companies coming up, and I saved a lot. And I also knew a lot of people who were just intelligent, financially intelligent. So they gave me a lot of pointers, and those pointers were to put money in S&P 500. So I put a lot of money, most of my money in S&P 500 companies like Apple, Google, Coca-Cola, what else? Other tech companies, H&P, Dell, all these different companies I put money in. And yes, it goes down, but what you're not supposed to do is touch them. Don't take your money out. If it goes down, just keep buying. Continue to buy. Every month, if you make $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, whatever you make, what you do is you put either 10% of what you make, or you put half of what you make, especially if you live with your parents. Because if you live with your parents, you should be putting half or a little bit more than what you make in the stocks, whether it's the Dow Jones 30, or S&P 500. I like to go for stocks long term. So like companies like Coca-Cola, or companies like Apple, like companies that have been around for years and continue to do well. I like to put my money behind those. You can put your money behind everyday things that you use, everyday companies that you use. You go shopping, right? So the companies you purchase, they are around, like Kraft and other brands out there that you can purchase, and you can invest in those brands. And like I said, it goes up and down. The stock market is unpredictable. You can't predict when it will do well. If you're going to be a trader, someone who is paying attention, because that's all it is. It's about paying attention to when the market dips and the market pulls. So you have the bull and you have the bear. The bear slashes down. So when the bear slashes down, when it's a bear market, that means it's going down. When it's a bull market, because the bull, the two horns, it pokes it up. It's an up market. That means everything is up. What you want to do is buy when the market's down, because the market will go back up. It's always happened. You want to buy a company. Let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say Coca-Cola is $100 per share, per stock. And then there's a recession, Coca-Cola is at $30. Well, if you know Coca-Cola was at 100, buy it for the 30. That means it's on sale. Buy it as much as you can for 30. If you're going to do it every week paycheck, every 2 weeks paycheck, every month paycheck, every year, whatever you want. Me personally, I don't like to keep my money in banks, because banks do not provide a hell of an interest for you. You will make a lot more money in the stock market versus keeping your money in the bank. Yes, you should have a emergency savings, but it should be an account that accrues really good interest, like 7% if you can get that, or 6% or something like that. It should be in a saving interest account. It should not be in a regular savings account. You know why? Because banks banks make money off of you. You put 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, 300, $1 million in a regular savings account, right? What the bank does is they take your money, loan it to someone else, charge them a large interest. They get that money and they give you like 0.01% for borrowing it. That's it. That's why you shouldn't put your money in a regular bank account. You should put it in a savings interest account, or you should put it in the stock market. You can put your money in the 401k. You can put your money in a Roth IRA. You can put your money in, and this is financial guidance that I'm giving you guys. You have to be smart if you're trying to increase your wealth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you make only, let's say you only make $300 a week, 10% of 300 you should be saving. If you live with your parents and you don't pay anything, you should be saving $200 out of that 300. Because there's no need to be spending the whole 300. Now, let's say you're doing something like this. Let's say you are buying to flip, because a lot of people do that. You can do the same thing in the stock market. Buy to flip. So I'll give you an example. If you're the type of person who buys sneakers, Jordans, anything that's hot, you buy it and then you sell it for more. So a pair of Jordans today costs about $230, maybe $300, something like that, right? And if you sell it on the sneaker sale market, you can probably get 400, 500, 600, maybe 1,000, depending on what kind of sneaker it is, what exclusive sneaker it is. You understand? The more exclusive it is, the more money you can get for it. When it's a sneaker that's hard to get, you can get more money for it. So if you're a type of person that flips like that, you can do the same thing in the stock market. You learn about the company, you find out when they're going to dip, and you buy into it. And then after, you hold out. When it increases, let's say Coca-Cola, it dipped during the recession or during a time of bad news or economic news, and it dips to $30 from 100, and then it goes back to 100. You can sell it at 100. Your profit would be $70 of that. Now imagine having multiple shares. Let's say you had 10 shares. That's 70 times 10. That's a lot of money. You just made $70 off of 10 shares each. 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lot of fucking money off of each share. Mind you, you bought 10 shares for $30. It's 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, $30. 30 times 10 is $300. You spent only $300 on 30 shares. You understand? So, if you spent $30 on 10 shares, that's $300, right? Now, those 10 shares go back to $100. Mind you, 10 shares go back to $100. Your shares increased back to $100. It became $1,000. So if you minus the 30, the 300 from 1,000, you profit $700. You see that? It's the same thing with sneakers. Let's say you're a sneaker flipper. You buy a sneaker for $200, an exclusive sneaker for $200. This sneaker is on the market for $1,000. You sell it for $1,000. You profit $800. Do you see? It's the same thing. The only difference is you're flipping higher versus lower. That's the only difference. You're buying a pair of sneakers for $200 and whatever dollars, and you're hoping this one sneaker flips you $1,000. There's no different in buying Amazon or Apple or Google in the stock market. It's the same thing, and you're flipping it for higher. This is financial success. This is information that Black Americans do not know about, or anyone who doesn't fuck with the stock market. A lot of you like to say, oh, the stock market is so volatile and all this. But, well, let's say you bought these sneakers that you hope can flip you money, right? But let's say those sneakers don't sell. You stuck with a pair of sneakers that didn't sell. Well, it happens in the market too. The only difference is what goes down will always go up in the market. Always. When the market is good, you damn right you're going to make some money. And that's only if you buy prominent shares. You know, and here's the thing a lot of people don't know about. There's a lot of times that mergers happen. So you could, let's say you invested in a company, something like, let's say you invested in something called Pocket, right? And Pocket has, you have like, let's say you have 10,000 shares in Pocket. Pocket was like worth like pennies, 10,000 shares. And then Pocket merged with Google. Or Google bought Pocket. And their share price go up. You just made a fortune because of that merger, that new sale. You understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like vitamin water. I'll give you an example. When 50 Cent bought vitamin water, right? He bought into it. He bought into it differently than most of us. You know, a lot of us don't have that access to invest with the actual person. You know, if you are a person who have access, you are one lucky son of a guy. So, if what he did was he was given the opportunity where he can invest in vitamin water. And at this time, vitamin water wasn't so big, but they were getting there. So he invested early on, and then out of nowhere, Coca-Cola said, hey, we should get in bed with this company because this company is going to be big. At this time, Coca-Cola didn't have a juice brand or a healthy juice brand or water brand, whatever. They didn't have that because they were all about soda. So Coca-Cola got involved with this brand. They ended up buying vitamin water for $4 billion or something like that. I'm not sure how much 50 invested, but I think he invested $10 million. So $10 million from $4 billion, you know, that's $400 million that he got from that deal. Only difference is, you know, after what 50 didn't do is, I think this is what happened. They didn't pay him out. I don't know if they paid him out fully the $400 million, but if they did pay him out the $400 entitled, he should have put that 400 million into his business account, and from there paid out, you know, the broker and whoever. I don't know if it happened like that, but I don't know if he got only $100 million out of that situation. But if I was 50, I would have put it in my business account. Mind you, when the broker had to get paid, so the broker got a percent out of that. I think taxes, I'm not sure if taxes, I don't think taxes take right away from that. So he got in the bulk of that money. If he didn't get a bulk of that money, he got robbed, you know, but let's say he got a bulk of that money. It should have went into his business account, and he could have used that as, well, I give to G-Unit charity, I give to my employees and things like that. That could have reduced his taxes a lot from that deal. So, but I think he got screwed a little bit in that deal. I like I said, I don't know the business of what happened, but somewhere in that, I think he got screwed a little bit if he didn't get the full $400 million. Or, you know, like I said, taxes is, Uncle Sam is one crazy person, and you know, if it went in his personal account, he got screwed. Someone didn't advise him to put in his business account, and he could have got paid out through in that way. You know, that's what I would have done. I would have done it that way, and I would have bought property right away. And you know, once you put it in businesses and property value, they can't tax it too much. You know what I mean? Maybe they can tax the sale of it, you know, which they can. They have that choice too. But there's ways around it. You know, it's not like you can't figure out ways. You just got to pay your accountants more to go screw over Uncle Sam. You know, that's what a lot of wealthy individuals do, to screw over Uncle Sam. You know, they have accountants that they pay very well to not pay Uncle Sam their wealth or their money. You know, so but yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you make money. You know, put your money in stock market. You put your money in the stock market, trust me, you will be rich. Let's say you do it for 60 years until you retire. You will have well over $1.8 million in the market. And when you cash out after your retirement, you'll be well off still. I mean, you may have to pay taxes on that, but what I would do is I would do it through my company, not through your personal. Because when you do it through your personal, you will be taxed. You know, you'll be tax heavy. It's better to do it through the company, so therefore it's an entity and it's paying out through an entity versus it's paying out through a personal. But if you want to do it through personal, it's the same thing. You still have to pay taxes. You may not have to pay the full bulk of the tax because you did it when you retired, but the best way to do it is when you retire and let's say you cash out your entire amount, buy property. That's the best thing. So therefore, you can still reduce your tax payment, you know, through cashing out. So that's what you want to do. That's how you become wealthy. You can become wealthy through businesses. You know, if you got a business, you can become wealthy like that. I'll give you another way. If you sell 50, let's say example. Let's say you have 50, let's say you're a business, right? And you sell anything over $50. If you sell 5,000 of that, that's about $250,000. You understand? If you sell it for 60, that's over 250,000. If you sell it for 70, it's over 200. If you sell it for 80, so if you sell it at 100, I'm talking about 5,000, that's $500,000. It's $500,000. If you sell whatever product, 5,000 product for $100, and you sell that, that's $500,000. Look, I can do the math for you. I'll do it on my calculator. So 5,000 times $100. See? That's $500,000. That's all you have to do. That's how you can be rich. There's no way you can't say, oh, I don't know how to make money. I don't know. Yes, you can make money. Everyone have the motivation to make money, because there's a lot of money out there. A lot. There's trillions of dollars out there. There's some people who do it on a larger scale because, they can get loans easily, because they have the information. So, if you have good credit, if you know how to turn your negative credit into a positive credit, where it's over 730 points, credit is really good. Having good credit can make you wealthy. All you have to do is get a loan from this bank, save it, don't even touch the loan for 30 days to 3 months, save it, go to another bank, get another loan, save it, get another loan, save it, get another loan, save it. You'll have a lot of money in your account, and then just purchase property and Airbnb it out or rent it out. It's so many ways to make a lot of money. The thing is, people just are lazy. You have lazy ass motherfuckers, or you just don't have the information. Let's say you're a scammer, right? Because there are a lot of these type of people out there. Let's say you're a scammer. You're a scammer. You pocket 20 to 30 to 40 to thousands of dollars every day from scamming. Why don't you buy property? All you gotta do is create a company and allow that company to buy your property. And this is and this is not just for scammers. This is for hardworking people also. It's for people who make a living every day, whether it's plumbing, whether you're doing lawyer, whether you're a doctor, whether you understand. This is how you make money. It's so easy. Money is very easy to make. You go the hard way, or you go the easy way. A lot of us tend to go the hard way because you don't have the information to go the easy way. You're stuck in a controlled environment. You're basically a robot. Schools will not teach you this because they don't want you to succeed. You spend thousands of dollars educating yourself. No, what you should be doing is educating yourself on the things that's going to make you money. Go to school for sales. Get a course in how to be a good salesperson. Go to school for management. Go to school for business. Learn business. Go to school for things that's going to make you actual money. Don't go to school for all this other stuff. Man, what are you going to school for that for? So let me get this straight. You're going to go to Yale. You're going to go to NYU. You're going to go to Princeton. You're going to go to Stanford. You're going to go to MIT. Yes, it looks good on your report card. It does. Having a certificate or some paper that says you went to this school and you graduated. It looks good. Honestly, it looks good. If you have families who can pay for this for you, you are one lucky person. You're lucky because having one of those names on your certification when you apply for a corporate company, a Fortune 500 company, or whatever, you will get the job and you will make a lot of money, but you won't make as much as you could having the knowledge. Think about it. A lot of those type of jobs are just people who want to be secure financially in the future. You know, if you don't know how to negotiate when you get to that negotiation table, you're making the bare minimum. You know? You mean to tell me you got all this knowledge, you went to this prominent school, how much you spend? Maybe $250,000, maybe more, for 4-year college. Spent $250,000, maybe more. Like I said, you probably spent like $300,000 just going to this school. And you work a job that only pay you $50,000 a year. You can't even pay it off. Now, if you have family who have money and they paid it off for you, you're lucky. But let's say you got a loan. Right? Let's say you got a loan. Now you stuck with all this debt and you work a job that can't even pay the majority of your loan and you're living. Now, honestly speaking, you can pay for it. It's just you don't feel the need to. And that's why a lot of you feel like, I have to speak on this. I'm sorry to say this to Biden, but it is not fair that everyday people like myself have to pay for people who went to college, got loans that they could have took another route. Because think about it. So then what do you say? So, all right, here's the question I propose to those people who looking for help. Like, oh, please pay for my college. Please, this is too much for me. I can't pay it. So what do you say to those people who didn't get to go to college because they couldn't afford it? What do you say to those people? What do you say to those people who chose not to go to college and they chose to go to a trade school? You understand? Like, what do you say to those people? What do you say to those people? It's not fair that we have to pay your loan that you took out to go to college and then go work for a great company. Whereas some of us who didn't choose that route or couldn't afford college don't work for a great company, and they're making minimum wage or they're making less than what you are making. That is not fair. You can pay your bill. You just did things not to pay it. Or you could have went another way. You could have went to a less college, that's nice and cheap, that you could afford. Gone to another, graduate from there, then join a company. And most companies that are really good companies, they have it where if you're going to school for something that deals with the company or improve the company, they will pay for your schooling. They'll pay for your schooling. So obviously, you can go to lesser schools that's not expensive so that you can pay your way through college. You didn't have to go to these 4-year colleges where they're expensive and you can't pay for it. It's not fair to people who didn't go to college. It's not fair to people who couldn't afford to go to college. It's not fair to those people that they got to pay. Now they have to pay this huge bubble of money. And it's not fair, period, because y'all should have told those banks, no, why are you charging me more for this loan if I didn't spend that much for this loan? The interest is crazy on this loan. That's your fault. You signed the paper. You signed the contract for that loan. Now you crying foul that you can't live and you can't, no. You better defer it as much as you can. Keep deferring it as much as you can until you pay it off. It's your fault. It's not fair. Hardworking people should not have to pay for your college bills. You need to pay it yourself. Anyway, stop being robots. Now, there's some people who can't think outside of the box, so I understand why they're okay with being a robot. You know, like, oh, well, I'm gonna go to this job. It's financially secure. I can't think. A lot of people aren't CEOs and CFOs and those type of people. They can't be the creator. They can't be the head of the business because they don't have that talent. But if you go to school and educate yourself in those courses, you can have that talent. And let's say you can't. It's okay to be a soldier. It's okay to be a person who help someone do well, Because let's say you join a company, a small business, you can give your what you know to this business, and it becomes profitable for business. I'm pretty sure that CEO, whoever, will make sure you get paid very well. And that's okay. Not everyone can be the boss. But I guarantee you, if you say, listen, I can't be the boss, but I know how to generate enough money for you to do well with your company, I'm sure you can negotiate, well, listen, I'll take stocks in this company, or I'll take this amount of money when you reach this. You understand? You can negotiate those things in companies. That's also how you become wealthy. You can also be start your own business. Real estate is huge. Purchase real estate, and fix up the place and resell it for more. That's how you become rich. Or if you got, you're a great cook, if you're a great chef, open a restaurant. If you're good with drinks and different personalities, open a bar, a lounge. If you can manage a club, open a club. Money is out there. If you're good at math and science, open up your own firm so you can create different things that doesn't exist today. Right now we're having global warming and all these type of natural disasters. You can create things to help with those things so that this world can still exist in the coming centuries. Right now we have some crazy hurricanes. Why not create something to reduce the damage of hurricanes? There are things you can do to reduce the damage of hurricanes. There are things that you can create to probably take away hurricanes. We don't really need hurricanes. Honestly, we don't. Because all a hurricane is destruction. So if you can create something that can dismantle a hurricane, that's a lot of money you can get from the government. It's a lot of money you can get from private firms. You know how many companies out there in the world? And they're near hurricane hit areas? Trust me, you will get paid a lot of money if you can reduce that. If you can clean up the sea, the ocean. There's a lot of garbage out there. If you can create stuff to reduce plastics and junk in the garbage and filtered clean water and things like that. It's a lot of money from the government, a lot of money from private firms. They'll pay for that. You just need to have the information. You have the information, trust me, you'll do well. So there are many industries you can enter to make money in. This fighting over chunk change and stuff, it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. I just gave you the formula. I said if you sell 5,000 of anything over $50, you will make $250,000. So think about it. You work 40 hours a week, right? Let's say you work 40 hours a week. Let's say you only get $20 an hour. That's the minimum wage, I believe, right now. 40 hours a week, $20 an hour. Add that up. 40 hours a week at $20 an hour. How much is that? Add it up. Add it up. It's very easy. It's about $800. $800. You spent 40 hours to make $800? How much is your rent? Especially if you live in New York. Your rent could be anywhere from $1,400 to $3,000 plus. That's $3,000 plus. Because not everybody make $20 an hour in New York. There are a lot of people that make more. But just think about it. You work for a company, you only make $20 an hour. Make $20 an hour and you only get $800. And then so you add that up. So the week after you get $1,600. And the week after that you get $2,400. So technically in 1 month you only make $3,600. In this day and age you have so many people in your pocket. Let's go through it. So let's say your rent is $2,000, right? So you make $3,600. Now you're left with $1,600. Okay. So now you're left with $1,600. Then you gotta pay electricity. So that's $100. And you gotta pay, for your internet cable. That's about $100 also. So that's $200 out of that. So now you're left with what, $1,400? Then you gotta travel. So whether you have a car or you take New York City transportation, a Metro card is about $133. And then if you got a car, gas, depending on what kind of car you have, whether it's electric or whatever, you're spending about another 100, so that's out of that. That's about 2 and change out of that. So that now you're left with like 1,100. Then you gotta buy food. That's about what, depending on how much you eat in a month. So you're spending about $200, maybe more. So you're left with what, $900. Then you have streaming services. You have to pay for storage for Apple. If you have an Apple phone or Google or whatever, you have to pay for storage for that. They take out $20, and you got to pay for Netflix. That's another $20. And you pay for Spotify or whatever. That's another $20. You see how quickly everybody's in your pocket? And you go to the gym. That's another $20, $30. You gotta go shopping for, you're fresh. So that's another $300. Now you're left with only $300 in the month. You see? You did what, 40 hours? Within the month you actually did 160 hours. 40 is for the week. So you did 160 hours and you only got paid $3,600? Is that fair? $3,600? And you did 160 hours of your blood, sweat, and tears, hard work. 160 hours. That's crazy. For $20 an hour. If that's the way you think it's to go, okay, all right. And you keep doing that. And you will remain a robot. But there are people who make $100 an hour. You know, think about it, $100 an hour, 8 hours, that's $800. $800. 2 weeks is 16. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But we're going to switch this. If you make $100 an hour and you work 40 hours, that's $4,000. It's $4,000. It's a lot of money. Think about it, $4,000. That's a week. You're making $4,000 a week. So 416. Right? That's 24,000. 16,000. I'm sorry. I got mixed up. 16,000 a month. 4,000. That's 16,000 a month. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. That's almost damn near, that's close to 200,000 a year. Close, 192,000. That's about, for the year. That's good money in New York, actually. If you make $100 an hour and you can afford to live in those beautiful high-rise apartments, with the gym and the lounge and the kitchen set up, the outdoor deck, you can afford to live in a place like that. Because you make $100 an hour. There are people who make $100 an hour. That's good money. $16,000 a month. It's good money if you're seeing something like that. If you aren't seeing, most people in New York don't make that kind of money. But there are people who make that and more in New York. And if you can afford to buy property, you should. You should. If you are making that kind of money, you should buy new property and then try to make more. You don't want to go to school for a long period of time, and mind you, your company is making billions and you're only seeing 192,000. Does that make sense? Think about it. Just think about it. You work for this company for 40 hours a week. You're giving 160 hours of your time a month to only take home a yearly salary of 192,000. Mind you, if you sell $50, 5,000 to 5,000 people, That's 250,000. And if you just sell it for $100, that's $500,000. That's more than your $192,000 a year, right? That's way more. This is why you gotta be smart, and you have to get out of the box. You don't want to be a robot. This is America. And this is not just America. You can make this kind of money in Europe. You can make this kind of money in Asia. You just gotta sell whatever product you're selling over $50, or at least $50. And US money. If you're in Europe, sell it in euros. I would sell it in euros because it's more than the US dollar. I'll sell it in pounds, more than the US dollar. So if you are able to do that in those countries, do it. There's no way you can say, man, I'm not making money here, I can't, or you're struggling, you know. Stop. If you're poor, you shouldn't be shopping, period, for clothes, sneakers, all that. Stop looking like you rich. Be rich. There's a lot of people who look rich. Rich people don't look rich. Maybe some of them do. Some of them do. Because they have the money to shop and spend. But most of them don't. Most of them do not look rich. They could look like shit, but you go to their house, it's beautiful. You know? It's beautiful. You want to be a wealthy person. So if you want to be a wealthy person, do it in 2023 and up. Don't be a lazy motherfucker in 2023. If you were lazy in 2022, change, be motivated, have the ability to be successful in 2023. That's what you want to do. I dropped jewels for you guys. You know, I'll never drop this type of stuff. I mean, sometimes I do here and there in my videos, but I never drop it because you know why? This type of information, I understand why it's not free. It's not free because, you know, a lot of people put in the time and the work ethic to get to a certain place. And, you know, and a lot of people don't believe in other people, you know. A lot of people does that. Like I remember I created a company and my friends, not one of them actually supported my company, you know? And that's fine. But when my company started doing very well, yeah, they didn't know I was behind it. But they're like, wow, why are you doing so well? Well, I'm doing well because I believed in myself. And you too can do well if you believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, because everyone's going to doubt you. Everyone's going to shit on you. They're going to doubt you. They're going to say, oh, your company's never going to do well. They're going to say all that stuff. You got to believe in yourself. Only you can become successful. No one's going to hand out anything to you. Now, to be honest with you, some people get lucky in this world. You know, if you are beautiful, if you're handsome, you may be given a handout. You may be given a helping hand, you know. But if you're not and you're ugly or unattractive, well, there's a reason why everyone go and alter their appearance, because they want to be beautiful. They want a handout, a lot of them. But like I said, there's a lot of money to be made. There's no need to steal. There's no need to rob. Just think. Think. think about it. If Bezos can be a 192 billionaire, or Elon Musk could be a billionaire, and Warren could be a billionaire, Jeff, who else? Mark Zuckerberg could be a billionaire, Jay-Z, and Tyler Perry, and Rihanna, and Kim Kardashian, and Kylie Kardashian, and who else? Robert Smith and Jordan, Oprah, all these people could be billionaires. Obviously, there's a lot of money out there. You just have to learn how to do it. You know what you could do? I'll drop another jewel for you. What you do, create a company, LLC, and get your E&I. After you get your E&I, apply for a bank account, business banking account. Then, if you could fund it yourself. Leave the money in there so it shows you generating some money. Then open up a credit card, a business credit card in your company. And then after you do that, apply to other business credit cards. As long as your credit is really good, you'll be good. And even if not, your business credit is doing well, you'll be good. And then you apply to other business cards, and boom, you get 50,000 or 20,000, whatever. And think about it, if you open one business credit card, you got $150,000, and show another business card, get another 50,000, another. That's $150,000 right there you have in your disposal. What you gotta do is figure out what you want to do with that 150,000. See, I just dropped some jewels for you on how to make money. And it's easy. It's not hard at all. I came from nothing. I'm telling you straight, I came from nothing. My father didn't have a lot of money. He worked his ass off. And he still provided for me. And when I learned about how to make this money, I did. And I'm able to share it with you, how to make money. Because you too can become successful. Yeah, you don't gotta worry about how I look. I'm gonna get a haircut. It's just my barber, he's on vacation. Or I can cut it myself, save money. Or I don't have to cut it at all, because I got money. When you have money, you don't have to look good. You see, Ye got money. He's not, he was a billionaire before he did all that other stuff and lost it. I feel he was, they messed him up. Say, hey, black man, stay in your place. That's what they said to him. And that's why he lost that wealth. He could still come up though. If he just stay quiet, focus on his designs, focus on his brand and his music, I'm telling you, he can be, he can be right back where he was, because he already made it. So now he know how to make it. Now he know how to make $1 billion. Every success story is not always successful. A lot of the times it's through trial and error. You go through a trial, and then, there's an error there. Now you understand that error. Now you like, okay, next time I'll do it, I won't go that. I will surpass that error. And that's how you learn. You do a trial, and then if there's an error involved, you learn from it. And that's a lot of successful people. They've been through things like, even Jay-Z himself had a lot of trial and errors. Think about it. He was a recording artist who'd been shopping his work, but everybody shitted on him. Everybody said, no, we're not going to sign you. We're not going to sign you. They didn't want to sign him. And then what happened? They create their own label. They released their music through their own label. And then they became successful. They became so successful that Def Jam said, listen, we'll partner up. And then he released a number of successful records, you know. Yeah, there were people involved in that transaction, but he was able to do that. And then look where he at today. And this guy came from like pissy hallways. He came from the oven being shut off or no heat in the house. It was, you know, a bunch of mofos robbing and stealing in that area, shooting people in that area. Drugs was in that area. Crack was in that area. You know, he came from that situation to where he is. So obviously, you have no excuses. You cannot say, I can't do something. Because if that man can do it, you can do it too. You can't do it exactly like how he did it, but you can become a billionaire also. It's not hard. You just gotta put your money in places where you can become a billionaire. Obviously, he didn't become a billionaire through his music. He became a billionaire through other businesses. And those businesses, when you buy and sell for hundreds of millions of dollars, that accumulate your wealth. So, like I said, you can become very wealthy. You just gotta be smart. You just have to have smart people around you. You understand? So anyway, this is the Money Talk on the Kerbinator podcast, and I just gave you guys some jewels on how to make money. So don't say you can't do something. Motivate your fucking ass to get off your seat and fucking make money. Stop being lazy. Especially our Black Americans out there. Stop being lazy. Stop blaming everyone else why you can't be successful. Because I've seen it in so many other cultures. Mexican culture, they make a ton of money. They help each other. They help each other. Asian community, they help each other. You understand? Black people can do it also. We just gotta learn to be helpful and stop being, don't leave your ego at home. Leave your pride at home. There's no need to bring that to the table so that we all can be successful. I want to see in my future, before I die, I want to see a Black billionaire over Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. I want to see that in real life, or a $1 trillion Black company in real life. And it's gonna happen. I want to be able to see it. It's your boy Kerbs the Rules, and I'm out. Peace.